go there. In this video I'm going to take a look at stamp duty on commercial leases. You may be thinking about taking on a commercial lease, you may be thinking of perhaps leasing a coffee shop, and you're wondering what the stamp duty position is. Stamp duty is something that is easy to overlook when you're doing your budgets, doing your calculations. This short video will put your mind, or hopefully give you some clarity as to your obligations. Bottom line is, the first question you need to ask is a premium or key money payable? This basically means that are you paying, for example, 10 grand or 15 grand or 20 grand or 100 grand or whatever, key money, a premium for the lease? If you are, well then stamp duty is payable at the normal non-residential rate of stamp duty, which is 2%. However, nowadays, after the shakeout and the downturn in the economy generally and in the commercial property market, it's probably unlikely, unless you're going to Grafton Street or some part of Dublin, a fairly well-known part of Dublin, high in demand, that you are paying a premium or key money. But you may well be asked to. However, in any event, even with an ordinary lease, an ordinary commercial lease with no key money, you're going to need to pay stamp duty on the rent. And basically, there's a number of little calculations that need to be done. If the lease does not exceed 35 years, so if it's for 10, 15, 20 years, or even 35 years, the stamp duty is calculated at 1% of the average annual rent. So say the average annual rent is, we'll say for the sake of argument, 25,000. Well then your stamp duty will be payable at 1% of 25,000. If the lease is for between 35 and 100 years, then stamp duty is payable at 6% of the average annual rent. So in my previous example, you'd be paying stamp duty at 6% of 25 grand. And finally, if the lease is greater than 100 years, stamp duty is payable at 12% of the average annual rent. There's also some fixed charges of stamp duty. In other words, if there's a rent review in the clause in the lease, well then you pay a fixed stamp duty of €12.50. Likewise, you pay €12.50 stamp duty on each counterpart of an original lease. So you may have an original lease and 1, 2, 3, 4, any number of counterparts. Each counterpart attracts stamp duty at a rate of €12.50. That's a fixed fee. My name is Terry Gorry. I'm a solicitor in Enfield and County Meath. My website is businessandlegal.ie, or just Google my name and you'll come across a number of websites that I run. And I hope you find this video halfway